Welcome back to Your Hour. Joining me now is Mary Halsig with Mary Halsig Insurance and LT Care Solutions.
There you go.
And you were going to talk about something kind of serious today.
It's pretty serious. You know, I talk about scams and staying off the phones and a lot, and I think that we need to understand even more about the implications of that. And it actually has to do with human trafficking. Now, a lot of people think of human trafficking as being only sex trafficking. Oh, sorry about that phone. I've never done that before. But anyway, but sex trafficking is not the only type of trafficking. There's actually a large number of people, 77% of all the victims are in forced labor.
Okay.
And so it just dawned on me, in fact, I was doing some of my studies that I need to do on for anti-money laundering, fraud, all of those things, and part of it they brought up was this human trafficking, and I thought, okay, if the people that are being forced into doing these frauds, are they also tied to some of the Medicare fraud that we see?
Right.
So. And I've been one of those people that, you and I even talked during the break, get a job, do something different. They did. What happens with these human trafficking, the way that it works is to another country, a lot of times in Southeast Asia. It does happen in the United States. All 50 states have some type of human trafficking. But a lot of times they get lured into a job overseas. These are people who are vulnerable. They may have a disability. They may have they just lost everything, maybe. They had a real downfall in life. And so these are people that they target, offering them a job that will give them great income.
Yeah.
Low cost of living, all of those things they get over there, and now they're slaves. And some of the people that are calling us, Medicare beneficiaries are particularly victims because it's also a vulnerable population. So we have people, and so you don't know if the person on the other side is truly a predatory person. It could be somebody who has their insurance license, like we've talked about, just trying to lure you into their business. Or is it somebody who is being forced to do this? And it's very serious what happens on the other side. I mean, their lives are at risk if they don't meet certain quotas. And something that I found that was even more insidious is that there are people in those situations who are actually there voluntarily because it's the only work that they could find. And so they go in and they're committing fraud intentionally because it's the only way that they believe that they can feed their families.
Yeah.
So every time that you answer the phone, when you don't know who it is, you don't know who's on the other side of that phone.
Yeah.
And like I said, I get angry with them. I'm so tired of getting. They estimate that as Medicare beneficiaries, we get up to 50 calls a day.
Oh yeah.
50 calls.
And it's really crazy because a lot of times when you're talking to them, as soon as they say the word Medicare, I know that this is a fraudulent call and I don't want any part of it. And I try to get out of the call graciously by saying, I don't need your services. But they just keep talking.
They will.
So you just really basically just have to hang up.
Well, and that's really what they're saying. They use different things, and as we get older, we are more subject to things like coercion. And people, again, if they find, I've known people that will find someone who is very early in dementia. Okay, so when you're very early into dementia, you're not particularly unable to take care of yourself. You're not unable to make decisions, but it is easier to talk people into things.
Right.
To use logic or pressuring, coercion. You're going to lose everything if you don't. I've had people tell me, my lovely folks, that their kids are taking care of them, but they get a call or somebody comes to their house and they will, and then they'll just sign up for whatever's on the table because they've been told that they're going to lose all their benefits if they don't.
Yeah.
So those are some of the people that are local here that are doing that, but some of those phone calls may not be from somebody local.
And actually, it's even illegal for them to call you, isn't it?
It is. It's illegal for them to call you without, but what they do is they say, I had somebody call me, and I was surprised because I thought I recognized the agency that it was from, and it was a local agency. And I said, no. I said, I am an agent. I said, this is an illegal phone call. You can't call me without my permission. Oh, no, you gave us permission because you requested a quote for car insurance. And I said, no, I do everything through Matt Agard at Risk Management. Plug. I did not mean to do that. But I said, I do everything through him. And I said, did he give you permission? No, you did. They claimed that I went to a website. They claimed, which I don't do. I won't go to an insurance website because I know better.
Yeah.
Because they claim that a click is a yes, and that's actually written in law. Click is not a yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he was coercing me, trying to convince me that I had given him permission to call me about my Medicare. And I had already told him I was a licensed agent. So they use these hoping that you will eventually. They offer free services. They'll offer unneeded equipment.
Yeah.
And as I said, but I think we really need to take another look at this and realize that we could very possibly be talking to someone who is in a horrible situation. Don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
We do not want to encourage human trafficking.
Yeah, absolutely. Always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.